Well, welcome back to the In Good Company podcast, where we believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. And today's guest came all the way down from Buffalo, New York, coming into the pod here in Rochester. Full transparency, you were supposed to be here a few months ago. I got last minute tickets to the Buffalo Bills game in Houston, Texas. I shot you a frantic text message. I'm so sorry. I'm a professional, I promise. And you were like, whatever, dude. See you later. Long story short, you finally have graced us with your presence on this podcast. Thank you so much for coming. Without further ado, Emily Martin, welcome to the pod.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you. And I'm sorry that it wasn't worth it bailing on me in the end because they didn't make it all the way.
Yeah, really appreciate you bringing that up. Also, they lost that game too.
I didn't.
Really the worst part was not only did I let you down, I had to catch an Uber at like 3:30. I had to leave the Airbnb and we stayed up until 1 or whatever because it was a night game. And so it's like flying home exhausted. They lost,
Worst, yeah.
letting people down, just absolutely brutal.
Losses all around.
Just losses all around. So, Emily,
That's
obviously,
the Bills for you though.
well,
you know?
fair
Not
enough.
to make this a sports podcast, but.
So speaking of the Bills, has Buffalo been hometown for life forever? Like, just give us a little bit of your rundown. Like, where'd you grow up? What's your story?
I'm from Western New York, so Warsaw, a small country town. I would actually spend a lot more time in Rochester here than Buffalo growing up.
Okay.
And then went to school in Central New York in Oswego. Lived in Syracuse for a couple years after that. But I always felt Buffalo was, for some reason, where I belonged. I was like a major Sabres fan when it was like not excruciatingly painful to be that way.
Yeah, it's really fun now.
Although now, yeah, I'm actually just got tickets to the Sabres Maple Leafs game for
Let's go
2 weeks from now. So very excited about that. Maybe, who knew that the Sabres could maybe beat the Bills to a national championship?
Please don't. I know.
But yeah, Buffalo, Western New York, is definitely my home, and I do feel like very, very passionately about that. And the work I do.
What a cool opportunity that you got to experience Cuse, Buffalo, and Rochester, like pretty primary cities, obviously in New York.
Yes.
Much bigger than New York City, of course.
Yeah.
But
I love that stat. Buffalo is the second largest city in New York City after New York. Like it somehow is.
It's like not even close. Yeah. What would you say are some of the similarities between the two, or between the three rather? Like, do you have any?
Cuse, Rochester, and Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really enjoy living in Syracuse, I have to say. But it kind of had to do. I don't like basketball, and I don't know, for some reason. I am a sports fan, not a huge sports fan as much as I used to be anymore, but still I need to like identify with that for some reason.
Yeah.
I think, Buffalo and Rochester have different personalities. Everyone always says, Buffalo is more blue collar, Rochester is more white collar, but there still is that, I don't know, just like very welcoming cities. I know Buffalo is officially the city of good neighbors. I would think Rochester has that feel to it.
Yeah. Well, we are a neighbor of Buffalo, so we
That's true.
we get the good from you guys. So thank you. Yeah. So talk about, obviously this whole podcast is around the concept of entrepreneurs that have really stepped out. I think there's a lot of people maybe that are listening, driving right now, or maybe they're watching on YouTube, where they've maybe got this dream in their heart that they want to go pursue their dream job, or they want to, they have this Shark Tank type idea and they just want to go for it. Talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey, starting Ally Partners, like how you were able to go from idea to boots on the ground execution. Like, just talk a little bit about that story.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a very sexy story.
Yeah.
Which I do have to say, Buffalo and Rochester are very places with a lot of humble people, and I definitely probably have that too, although is me saying that not humble? I don't know.
You're like, I'm very humble, just to be clear.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I've been told that I underplay, what I've done, and I think a lot of people do that. But I started my career in HR out of college, and I just kind of stumbled into it. I mean, it wasn't totally unrelated to my majors, but I had like an internship in college that was HR, and worked in-house, and for a few companies, I would stay everywhere for only a couple years, maximum 2 years, just because I kind of always had kind of the very idealistic entrepreneurial spirit. I didn't really like being told what to do for very long by anyone. And I always had ideas and was a great employee in that I was passionate and did a lot, but didn't was probably annoying at some point to all my bosses. Sorry. And to all of them, they probably at some point were all like, shut up and do your job, please. Like, but so at the end of that, the last like in-house position I had was not a traditional in-house position, but working, and then shortly after I was hired, running an HR consulting department for a payroll company, a local payroll company in Buffalo. And through that, I just realized I could do it myself. And I thought, again, being idealistic, I could do it better. I do.
Let's
I do
go.
it better. But also through that experience, I met so many business owners, small business owners, and they're all great people. But I thought, man, some of these people, they don't know anything really except what they do really well. And they're running a whole business, which they don't even know anything about. Like if they can do it, I can do it. And it demystified this idea that, I think we go through these tiers in life as adults. Like you think you're going to get to a group of adults and they're all going to be like these impressive people that are like, oh, these are the real adults.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, no, none of them are. We're all
Wait, we all don't know what we're doing?
Yeah. It's actually terrifying. Like now when I go to the doctor, I'm like, they're all, I don't know.
Wait, we're all playing pretend?
Yeah. Like anything terrible. It's amazing that the fabric of society stays together as well as it does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How funny.
So I just decided after a conversation with my boss there, like I needed to go do my own thing. And I did, and I've never looked back, and I've never regretted it. It was the best decision I've made in my life by far.
What was the year of that?
I think that was, what year is 2021 maybe? This is the 6th year this year, I think. Yeah. I
was 2021 as well. Okay. Look at us twinning.
Yeah, well, during COVID, I mean, I think like COVID shook up obviously a lot of things in the world, but it totally just the narrative or whatever we all kind of thought the mold we were in, like it broke that for a lot of people, and it probably helped in some way. I think there was a lot of silver linings of that, even though obviously. Well. And
you may not know this, but kind of what was really unique for me, and part of obviously why you're on the podcast today, is we run a marketing agency where we are connecting with smaller businesses, probably anywhere from $1 million, like $1 to $5 million, let's say. And we had a client that we were working with, and they were asking us some additional questions just outside of the scope of marketing, which can happen with smaller companies.
Yeah, a lot.
They were like, do you do any QuickBooks stuff? And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're a marketing company. Like, can you have someone help me with my QuickBooks? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they brought you up as someone that they were doing HR with. And they're like, oh, dude, you should connect with her. And I actually booked like a discovery call with you. That's like we went through the process. I said no because I got this thing handled. I don't need your help. I'm just kidding. A matter of time. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say probably after this call. Actually, I'm being incredibly sincere that we will have a follow-up call. But it's just funny how that works. Where again, like my leads or the people that I'm serving, they don't just need what I have, and vice versa. Like the things that you're. As we talk about networking and as we talk about in good company, like the people that you know, when you made that entrepreneurial jump, I know for me at least, I'm just like this recovering people pleaser by nature. Mm-hmm. So to have had, and you're just glossing over it, but to have had that conversation with your boss and said, hey, I'm going to go start my own thing. Mm-hmm. And then I did, and I don't regret it. It was the best decision ever. That's great. That's a wonderful story. But that actual moment for you, where you had to go knock on his door, walk into that room and say, hey man, love you. Thanks for the opportunity. See you later. Talk about that for a second. Because I have this feeling that there's people listening that are more intimidated or nervous about that moment that they then basically sacrifice their dream because they're not willing to have some of those challenging conversations.
Yeah, I mean, in full transparency, and I'm putting me on the spot here. I didn't go into his office to have that conversation that day, but I went in with that probably subconsciously in the back of my mind. I mean, I knew I was going to do it eventually, but I knew also like things. There was some sort of rub going on there with me running a department inside of his business that really prioritized like the one product, like payroll side, and it was really kind of, I think, inhibiting our product on that side. So I was going in there almost advocating for like almost like the entrepreneur of that part of the business.
Yep.
And basically to say like, this isn't working out what are we going to do about it. And we basically decided that the best thing to do about it was nothing, and for me to go do my own thing.
Cool.
So it was a mutual decision. And I mean, I called that meeting. I pushed that edge. I don't know what would have happened or when it would have happened if I didn't do that. But
Yeah.
I'm also not a shy person when it comes to like
Yeah.
confronting, problems that aren't even being stated yet.
So did you have like a backup plan at that point? Like, did you?
None.
Okay.
No, but the instant it happened and I knew I wouldn't be working there anymore, I 100% knew that I was never going to work for anybody ever again. Like it
Love it.
just was a moment of knowing. I had done literally
Yeah.
not any preliminary work, like
Yep.
even understanding what it took to like file for an LLC or anything up to that point, but I just knew.
Good for you. Yeah.
So you just got to do it. I mean, I think everyone just figures it out, and if you're really passionate about something, you will figure it out. And there are so many great like other.
Yeah.
I mean, one tip I give everyone that's starting their own business is have coffee with as many people as possible who are doing it already or something similar.
Yeah.
Even if they're a 1099 inside of something,
Yeah.
selling something, because it's just the commiseration or just hearing yourself talk out loud about what you want to do helps you formulate your own, convictions
Yeah.
further or clarity on it. And it's so
I also
helpful.
feel like people get a bad rap. Like, I think people are good.
Yeah.
Like most people are good.
Yeah. Inherently, people are good. I would say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And like when you sit with someone for coffee and you just tell them your idea,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they're going to go, I have someone for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you may not have a business yet, but I got a guy that I think would be perfect for you to work with. Here's his contact, da, 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 da. And it's like they actually want to help you. And the beauty is like you're giving them an opportunity to help you.
Yeah.
And people want to feel purpose. People want to feel like their work and their life is meaningful
Yeah.
and, all those things. And
they're getting something out of that conversation too. I mean, we all are, whether we're learning something, don't want to be your life
Sure.
more of, or do or not do. Like we're all relating is so important, and having conversations is important for whatever topic.
Yeah.
For that reason.
It's great. It's great. So let's talk about HR specifically because
So exciting. I'm sure everyone's.
No. It is exciting because here's the
turning up the
deal. HR and like wanting to work with HR, wanting to engage with HR, it's always, at least in my experience, it's like something catastrophic has happened. Or it's, I got to go talk to HR again. Like it's like big brother type vibe.
Yeah, the principal's office or police.
So like why HR? Why bring this fresh, like almost concierge type service that, why dive into that?
Well, like I said, I just stumbled into it as a career path and then found that I was pretty good at it. And then the consulting side for sure. I mean, my favorite part of even in-house HR was the partnerships I had with the managers and helping them just deliver on whatever, making their specific departments or teams more successful through helping them with the people problems or opportunities in them, which, they can be either your people are either going to be your greatest, kind of like risk to your business or detriment, or your best, most valuable resource. So, just helping people like remove those barriers and solve those problems.
Yeah.
I just liked it more and more, and then getting to do that and I really see it as serving the community through working for that company where I was consulting and helping other small business owners. And it also let me help, like I got to do what I'm good at doing, but also help people, and the community, because the health of the small businesses in the community is the single greatest statistic and contributor to the overall economic health of that community for sure. And Buffalo needs that.
Yeah. And I just feel like HR is like that first, like as people are thinking about becoming a business, like they have the business idea, the service, the product, whatever, but the ecosystem of, and you brought it up, it's like, okay, I got to become an LLC or an S Corp, or I've got to get a business bank account. And I've got like, there's things that you have to do in order to establish your business. And I think HR may be one of those things that, we'll get to it. Like we'll get this stuff in order.
You don't anticipate when you start a business at all. I don't think anyone, like, unless you've worked inside of an organization like corporate that you had a team and you were supported
Yeah.
or not supported in a lot of cases by your internal HR department, or, had good employees or bad employees, you don't anticipate how much eventually that's going to become like a part of your job. It's inevitable, and I don't think many people are prepared for it.
Yeah. What's the biggest misconception in HR right now? Like, what do you feel like is kind of one of those trigger things, or like a reoccurring thing that you get with some of your clients that you're like, man, I just keep hearing this. Like, this is.
Geez. I just think it's a really tough environment out there for employers in general. I think, especially in a state like New York, it's super employee friendly, and like, of course it should be, and that's not bad, but it shouldn't be employee friendly and employer, unfriendly.
Yeah.
That's really the theme right now, and it's being rolled back at a federal level because of the change in administration. And I think that's helpful for employers and businesses in the country, but we're in New York and that's really not going to change. So it's just really difficult. The prevalence of HR and the cost of HR related items on, businesses, and their accounting and things is higher than ever, because it's just the lawyers you have to pay, the caution you have to take
no doubt.
now.
Yeah.
You're really in New York, you're guilty unless you can prove yourself 100% innocent for any claims that happen.
Yeah.
And that's a really tough place to operate from. And, so it takes up a lot of time to produce that documentation every time you make a decision or something happens. And that's not why the business exists.
Yeah. So what is your process? Like, just give me like a quick, if someone is watching this right now that they've got a business and they're like, oh man, like HR is something that is totally not in my wheelhouse. Even if I can do this selfishly and interrupt the podcast to do a quick consulting with you.
You want me to do an audit of your...
right?
Okay.
Well, maybe not publicly.
Of course, it people are always shocked with how many rules they technically need to comply with, and it really is impossible to comply with all of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Even if you have an HR department, you'll spend all your time doing that. But I think, I guess what I would say is, if you don't want to bother doing that yet, or spending that money yet, or putting that time and energy there, just be the better quality leader you can be, probably the less you'll need to worry about that. Of course, there's still random audits that can occur in things, but the greatest likelihood of you, being brought to your knees by the DOL or something is an employee complaining.
Yeah.
And if you have good relationships and trust with your employees, you hire the right people, you handle situations in the best way possible where people aren't walking away with resentment or bitterness or something, those are all going to reduce the likelihood of claims or, people complaining against you. Really just not because they want money. Now it's really just about like vindication or justice or something.
Sure.
And I use that word loosely because it isn't really justice. So, just being a good people leader and having those good relationships, making smart business decisions when you're hiring someone, or when someone, it's clear they're not a fit and they need to go, and doing so in a respectful way that everyone walks away feeling good. But a lot of businesses don't do that.
Yeah. And I think accountability is huge. And we were talking about this before, but being a part of networking groups, or being a part of things where there's mentors or people that have kind of gone before you. You brought up the coffee meetings and things like that. How significant is it, even in your own career, to have really just been around good company, been around people that are, not keeping you back, and kind of like the crabs in the bucket where they keep pulling you back. But these are people that are, man, come on, like there's a beautiful brand new world up here, and you got to see this view type of deal.
Yeah. If you're
how
around
important
people like that, set a boundary. And I'm not saying don't ever talk to them again, but make a point not to spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
No, it's everything. I do not every year, but most years I do like a birthday party for my business, and it is like celebrating another year.
It'd be cool if I was invited once, but
well,
maybe I should be a client.
You will this year.
Last
year was a 5-year, really nice party.
I love it.
But mostly it's an appreciation event, not just for my clients, but basically anyone and everyone. I invite even friends and family to it. And
it's really smart. Yeah.
Mix all that up, which is sometimes uncomfortable. But professional Emily has to meet fun Emily and all that stuff. But It's because it's like I had a speech prepared for the 5-year one this year, and I didn't do it because I knew I would
Aw.
get emotional. But a good client friend of mine who was there made me do it for like a small group of people in the
Yeah.
corner just so he could hear it, and I immediately started crying when I
Aw.
started to say it, because it is like people don't realize how much they do for you just by like supporting you,
Mm.
or with my clients too. It's like them trusting me to really they get super vulnerable with me and say things to me they certainly would not say publicly, and these are vulnerable moments and they're
Yeah.
real human moments, and they're not like bad things or bad people for saying them, but these are struggles and
They need to
things.
get it
So
out to a
yeah.
trusted person, you know?
Right. And
Yeah.
helping them. And they're scared, truly that's the fear. It's fear in these moments where they are worried they're going to do something wrong to upset an employee they actually do care about in their business, but knowing they have to make the decision for the rest of the
Mm.
business, the health of the rest of the business, or not wanting to get sued or whatever. So it's a real like privilege, truly. And I know people use that word loosely, but
Yeah.
it really is to be trusted with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you're as genuine as they come. Like I think and I know you kind of made the joke of like, yeah, I bring everyone together and I'm professional and I'm, family version, but like when you're consistent,
Hmm.
when you have integrity, when you show up, the same, whether you're at a Starbucks and you run into someone or you're at whatever,
Yeah.
it just speaks to the volume and the level of the success that you've seen and everything else.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I
Um,
think that's super important.
yeah,
And if you are, it's like about integrity, really. It's authenticity, but integrity. And if you are honoring that integrity mostly to yourself, then things are much easier because you don't
yeah,
constantly have to be like keeping up any lies or images or anything,
yeah,
including running your business. Run your business, even with the standards you set for people and how you hold them accountable. Don't be shy about doing it as long as you're being consistent. It's totally fine.
yeah.
But people don't think that or realize that.
Yeah, I think again, we could probably spend hours talking about the quick comment that you said about, wait, like these people, like people don't know what they're doing, or like we were making the joke about like we're the adults now. There's not
Yeah.
like this separate group of adults that actually knows what's
Right.
going on. But it is really interesting, and it feels like and I feel the same burden to show up well for people, not just in marketing. For you to show
Mhm.
up well for people, not just in HR or consulting or the things that come with that, but we're in the business of people,
Yeah.
and a person shows up on a Zoom call or in person or like wherever that is, and they're coming with all their stuff.
Mhm.
It could be great, and then it could be detrimental. We've had people in the podcast that are renting the space and they roll up and they got bloodshot eyes and they've been crying about some personal thing that they're going
Mhm.
through.
Mhm.
And I don't look at them and go, hey, brother, go to the bathroom, clean up a bit,
Pull yourself together.
because we got somebody coming in an hour.
Mhm.
It's like, no, there's a human moment where you
Mhm.
sit and you go like, dude, what's going on? And you don't have to share, but like, I'm here
Mhm.
and we got the buffer around it and whatever. How important is that to you to be able to make some of that space? Because again, some people, just being transparent, some people are like, I'm not a counselor. Bro,
Yeah.
go pay for a counselor.
Yeah.
I'm your HR person,
Yeah.
but you don't have that vibe.
No, and sometimes I feel maybe there should be more of a boundary there. And not that, but it does get personal though, but it is. These are small business owners. It's like literally their blood, sweat, and tears that are
Hmm.
in their businesses. I understand how significant that is, like having my own business, but I just can see it in again, like the anguish or how serious they take it, or the toll it takes on them when they have to make difficult
Yep.
decisions. So yeah, I think, and compassion is important anywhere in life. And that's another point I want to make is like, um, a lot of people think the ideas of like accountability and empathy, or accountability and compassion, are completely opposing ideas, but they're really not. And
Mm.
being a leader in a business and being a business owner, means you have to like constantly be keeping all of those in the mix. And if you're falling too far on one end of either of those, if you want to call it a spectrum, although I don't think it is,
Yeah.
that is going to be detrimental to individuals in the business
Yep.
and to the business overall, including the business owner themselves, constantly being dissatisfied in one area. There's a way to be productive, be profitable, be successful in that way, and also have like a healthy culture and be, have a good sense of humanity in your business. People aren't numbers, but also like the people in the business only exist in order to need to achieve certain numbers to keep the business like viable.
Right. Yeah.
So like the world right now is like this constant ebb and flow between that, and employees should have a better understanding that the business is not all about them, and it doesn't exist to employ them, and their experience at the business is not the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
And employers and business owners should understand that if you don't consider compassion and make it a good place where people feel cared about and, fulfilled and all these things, then that's going to affect the bottom line of the business too.
100%. Yeah.
It's, people think HR is either for the business sometimes, or, it's weird because employees think that HR only cares about the business and its interests. And then a lot of owners and leaders never hire HR because they think they're, these bleeding heart people that only care about the employees, and we get like crap from both ends.
That's funny.
The truth is like the business needs both of those perspectives, and an HR person, a good HR person, understands that and is being the mediator and middle ground and voice of reason for both of those sides. But
it's great.
Yeah, there really aren't a lot of great HR people, I would say, because like
I was gonna say, sounds like a nightmare.
But
I'm a bleeding heart person for sure. I wouldn't be good for that, I don't think.
And you know what? Again, contrary to popular belief, most of my clients are not like tyrants, like up there talking about only dollars and not even knowing employees' names. They're at a year end where they care a ton and they don't want to do anything bad for people. And they honestly, most of my time is spent coaching them to say, I understand, but this person is a cancer for the rest of your business. Or
that's
like,
right.
You really can't do this job.
Yeah.
You need to make the difficult decision to demote them, let them go.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Really being a cheerleader, mentor, like pushing them in the right direction.
Honestly, but that is the more compassionate choice too, even for that individual who
for sure it is.
Negative consequences. They'll go find a place where they fit better or can
for
be
sure
more
it
successful.
Is. Yeah. We have a segment on our podcast called Fails of the Week. It doesn't have to just be of this week, but being a business owner and entrepreneur, it's so easy for someone to like roll on your LinkedIn or go to your website and be like, oh my God, she's so successful. Like, must be nice. Like, she can do whatever. But I know how difficult. I mean, even today, you rolled in here early and I'm like, yo, what are you doing here? Because our cameras weren't working. Something broke on the light thing. And you're like, what's up, guys? I'm here early. And I'm like, oh no. Because being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, like it's not all what it looks like or appears like, right? So talk a little bit about, is there a fun story, like a fail story, maybe early on in your business or even recently that you just think is kind of one of those, might not have been funny at the time, but could be fun to talk about?
I mean, it's like, traumatizing when it happens. So I'm surprised it's not top of mind. Maybe I've just done a good job blacking them out.
It's okay if you don't have one too. I mean, listen.
I know, but now I just look bad. Oh no.
You're like,
I never make any
did I
mistakes.
mention I was so humble already? Because I also don't make mistakes.
I think one thing for me, so maybe it's not a specific answer, but there's been moments like this and they've become less so over time just because of experience and maturity and like relaxing in my own ego maybe.
Yeah.
But just like not being like too quick and too cavalier to give coaching or advice or direction about an action that needs to be taken that's like difficult. There are times where like I admittedly do become, and just maybe because of other things going on in my life like stress or sleep or whatever, like I have less patience for clients at certain times than others. And there are times they don't complain necessarily or say anything, but I leave the meeting or interaction not feeling well, or like I did my best because I knew I could have been a little bit more compassionate and patient. Because I deal with, my favorite part of my job is like the problem solving, like HR bat phone part of it that I call it, where people call with like major issues or they're very stressed about something and they need like just help putting out the fire.
Yeah, you're like, got it.
And they love, like, that's one of, I think, my best qualities as a professional is I can very clearly go in, see what to do, direct them on what to do. But at times, maybe I because I'm so used to it, I'm detached from the emotion of it as well. So I could be
Sure.
sometimes a bit more
But
soft.
like no different than a doctor that's dealing with like heart
Yeah.
attack patients all the time, and you got
Right.
the family that's like, "Is my dad okay?" And you're like putting your mask on. You're like, "We're going to surgery. We'll
Yeah.
come back when it's ready." You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's easy to become a little bit like detached and cavalier. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great example though. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause man, it's crazy out here. And but I will say, like, I think people, when they incorporate those fails, some people don't just let that be a failure, but they start to wear that they are a failure.
Hmm.
And what happens in entrepreneurship and growing your business is you actually want those moments, because as those moments happen, then maturity comes, and you realize what's on the other end of that mountain, and then you get to see what's on the next mountain and the next thing. And I
Hmm.
just think that, you talk to anybody that has a business, they have so many fail stories. They have
Right.
so many examples of, well, I tried this, it bombed, then I had to get back on the horse and do this.
Yeah.
And that builds the calluses, it builds the strength. It's
Yeah.
no different than working out, whatever else,
Yeah, and you're right. Like when you're on whatever, LinkedIn obviously is specific to professional networking, so you see a lot of performances on there,
Oh
I'll call
yeah.
it, which is gross to me half the time. I don't spend a lot of time scrolling. I mostly just post and
I can't
people
wait to
like it,
clip
whatever.
this part and put it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all a bunch of
LinkedIn is
fakers,
gross. Yeah.
charlatans. Well, there are a lot of charlatans on
Yeah.
LinkedIn for sure, but everywhere on social media, I guess. But yeah, anywhere you go, it's like these glamorized versions of people and success, and it's totally ridiculous, you know?
I heard somebody say once, show the best, hide the rest.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It is terrible.
And
Yeah.
again, I do think a reason a lot of my clients like me is I can't help it. I'm a brutally
course.
honest and direct person anyway,
Yeah.
for good and bad sometimes.
Yeah.
But the authenticity, if you're not like willing to show your warts, then people sense that, and they're not interested in that. There's no trust. Most relationships are built on trust, obviously, and
Yeah.
how can they trust you if you're not being totally like authentic and transparent and
Yeah.
real?
It's great. How do you get clients right now? Like, do people just like come to your website? Is it like word of mouth networking type stuff? Because I feel like
Yeah.
what you do feels like incredibly specialized. Like people always
Mhm.
talk about like niching down to really serve in one specific thing. And I think, at least from the outside looking in, I think you've done a really great job of that. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming you get a decent amount of referrals just because you're
Yeah, it's
pretty
pretty much all
specialized.
referrals at
Yeah.
this point. Just through other providers that are adjacent to me, like benefits providers, perhaps, or lawyers. Employment law lawyers, where they're facing a claim or a lawsuit, and okay, really, I can't do anything about that. That's a lawyer's job now.
Yeah.
But like, what were the contributing factors that led to this that we can then remedy through, all the things that help you stay safe in the business. So mostly referrals, or just from happy clients that I've, worked with before. And I post on LinkedIn, and I try to generate a lot of free like checklists and
Yeah.
my podcast, which is kind of on hiatus right now. So I just try to put out like
You can have me on your podcast.
I need
We'll
to,
record
yeah.
it right after this one and just change
Perfect.
seats.
Yeah. Okay. You got another shirt I can wear?
Yeah.
But yeah, just I honestly, and I do give free advice all the time, or free
Mhm.
help. Just people are always like, let me pay you for this hour, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 1 hour, man. Like someday you'll need more and you'll call me then, So-
Yeah. I went to a conference for one of our clients that you were on a panel and you were
Mhm.
giving great value, and you're not making a ton of money off of that or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
but you're giving back to your community, and I can
Well,
see.
you get what you put out, right? Or
For
whatever
sure.
that expression is.
Yeah.
So I just always really try to do the right thing, and then the right things just magically end up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow, right? All those things. It's like, I totally agree. Okay. We have one of my favorite parts of our episode as we conclude here is the rapid fire hot seat questions.
Okay.
These are very important. These are 1 to 2 word responses, like just fire them quick. You ready?
Yeah.
You feeling nervous?
When I did I try not to
You
look at the questions
cheated?
before. I looked ahead
I'm
of
just
time.
kidding.
This is like the one question. There was one in here that I was like, I don't know. So, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to throw in a couple different ones now that I know that
okay.
you've seen these.
Okay.
In the morning, are we coffee, matcha, energy drink, tea, What do we got?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, 1 cup of coffee, though. I'm a 1-a-day person.
Okay.
Real coffee, not all this Starbucks crap with all the sugar and milk. Those are milkshakes. They're not really coffee.
Excellent.
Just a real cappuccino, shot of espresso and
Excellent.
milk, yeah.
Even though you are a 1 coffee a day person, we have this incredible machine at the Content House.
Okay.
You need to have a cup before you leave, even if it's a sip and you throw it in the trash. Okay.
Will do. Yeah. I'm a coffee snob, so.
Okay, good. Good. What is the biggest HR myth that drives you crazy? Bonkers.
That HR is, like I said, just the police of some sort, whether it's the employee thinking it's, the police for the employer or the employer thinking it's like the police for the employees. That they're no one's friend, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
What is one leadership trait that every manager should have?
Humility. Yeah. If you have an ego, you're going to project that baby onto everything and everything's going to suffer. So the more ego itself is not bad, but having an unhealthy, like out of touch, fearful ego is going to bad time.
Yeah. What's your personal favorite way to decompress after a long work day?
Yeah, this goes back to something else that was on there, like yoga versus tennis, because those are both loves of mine.
Yeah. That was the one that you didn't know the answer to.
I know, because they're both great in their own way. But I do think my favorite way is tennis. I belong to this really cute little niche red clay tennis club in Buffalo.
Go.
It's super old school. And just going there in the sun. It's only open in the summer, but going there and hitting for hours with friends in the sun or under the lights when the
Let's go.
It's heaven on earth, yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Dang. I wish I was
if you
good.
play tennis, so you can come check it out.
I was pretty stellar at ping pong back in the day.
They could translate those
little
skills
bit less
possibly.
running. Yeah. Okay, this one's probably tough too. I feel like Buffalo is definitely vibing in the foodie town, foodie region type of way. What would you say is the best restaurant that if someone was, and I know Buffalo is like definitely sprawls out, but if we're talking like downtown Buffalo or if someone is coming to visit and going to a Bills game or something, Sabres game, whatever, what's the best restaurant that you would recommend?
It's actually where I had my 5-year party. Last year I was just with the owner last night, Rita DeTondo. The restaurant's called DeTondo. It's a legacy restaurant, I guess you could say, in Buffalo, but it used to be like an old school bar. And now her and her husband, they lived in Italy for a while, came back, bought it from someone else in the business, renovated it, and it's a gorgeous, like authentic Italian, not like American Italian, like, spaghetti and chicken parm, which whatever, they have their place, but it's gorgeous. They, again, talk about authenticity and integrity and mission. Like they know what they like, they know what's good, and they make people have it, and they really enjoy it. It's very, very good.
I got to bring my wife there.
I'm going to Shell tonight as one of my missions of
Okay.
coming to Rochester.
Yeah.
To be on this is to also go to that restaurant. I've heard really good
Come
things.
on.
Yeah.
Try it out. Let's go. You can come back, report back.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
you-
yeah. I have not been yet because my wife and I, once we moved out of the city into like typical suburban experience, we have a couple kids and it's like anyway, we're just, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not cool anymore. I never was, but definitely am not now.
Someday again. Yeah.
Someday again. Yeah, hopefully. Final question of the podcast. What is one word that your clients would use to describe you?
The one that's resonated with me the most is pit bull. Yeah, I've been called a pit bull before. Like, because I go into the hard situations and tackle them head on. I'm not mean to employees, but people that need to be a serious conversation had with. That's also
incredible
compassionate and kind, and they're scared. I'm not scared. I just go right in there. So
let's go. Yeah. Also, social media editor, can you clip a Pitbull song right now? Excellent. Yeah. I know you didn't mean that Pitbull, but right when you said that, I was like, Pitbull, like the
he's
artist?
got some bangers.
He does.
Mm-hmm. They're still relevant now.
Pretty.
Has he put anything new out?
How old is that guy? Because when he rolls out, I'm like, he still looks pretty young and.
He
doesn't look
old now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess. I mean, at least for
it's gotta be
like a thug or whatever he is.
A thug.
So, I don't know.
Dude, there was some cool vibes in the 90s, you know?
It's coming back. Man.
MTV, like That was sick. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of In Good Company, where we really do believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. And Emily, thank you for being one of our first guests in our brand new setup that we've got here. Thank you so much.
I feel honored. Thank you. And yeah, I'll return the favor and have you on mine when it
I love it.
itself.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, and we look forward to chatting with you soon. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to In Good Company. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more information or to connect with Mike, visit him online at thomasmediagroup.co or on Instagram at Michael L. Thomas. Thanks again for listening, and remember, the best of business happens in good company. We'll see you next time.